Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brick and Easter Broadcast Network here on YouTube and on Rumble. And as many of you know, on Tuesdays, I do a Builder Insight show, and I ask my guests to also put together a 2-minute tech tip video. And I just finished editing it. That's why I haven't posted it yet, but I will be posting it after the stream today. But we will be showing it while we're having an interview with my guest, who is also one of the co-hosts of some of the stream reviews that we do for Lego Masters. Please help me welcome to the stream, Remy Baker, also known as Brick Literacy. Hey, how's it going, Remy?
How are you?
Oh, I'm glad it's Tuesday.
Yeah, no, it's good. But first we got to open some mail, don't we?
Yes. In fact, I'm glad you said that because the box is over there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna put myself in the back while you talk to the audience. I'll be right back.
You go grab the box, and I'll just now I'm here, and we can just say whatever we want for the next 15 seconds or so. So let me tell you guys about this new cryptocurrency. It's called Never Invest in Cryptocurrency. There you go. That's a tip. That's a free, not financial advice from me to you. But yeah, I like flowers. I like building them. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, Naomi, you're back.
Scare you? Do I need to have like fanner whenever I come into the room? Dun, da, da, da.
No,
She's here. Here's the box.
So yeah,
here's the generic box because I didn't want to show our addresses on the air.
Oh yeah.
But, yes, thank you so much for sending this over.
Yeah.
No, this know what's inside.
Like a holiday gift / thank you gift for doing all the Lego Master streams with me. And but yeah, I don't care if you black out my address because next month
You're leaving. Yeah, that's anyway, true. And I may be leaving as well. Yeah, my lease is coming up.
So if you want to burn down my apartment, the window is closing, I guess is my point. So
you don't have windows that close?
No. The time to
the window of
the window of time
permanently. I thought you were talking about that you live in a place where the windows don't close.
No, I actually, had to board up my windows because of the sun. Like the sun comes like right through here. And, if I'm sitting here trying to work and I got anyway, that's why the construction paper is there.
Ooh, I got some cool parts in here.
I don't know. Did you find your spaceman? I feel like your spaceman might not be in there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just check it real quick because I can't remember if I sent it to you or not. Or you're the astronaut.
So it says, hey Naomi. So I meant to send this out. You don't want me to read it on the air?
No, it's fine. It's just silly.
Okay, so well, it's funny because I'm not sure what this next word is. So I meant to send this out in January. I think that's January. Okay. But I didn't, and now it's March. But I found this at a yard sale and figured you would enjoy it. It should be complete, and of course, I washed it. But classic sets are old. Oh, you got me a classic set? Thanks for dragging me back into doing recaps. It's been fun. Yours in Lego, Remy. Aw.
Yeah, but my penmanship not the greatest. So.
Well, it's the thought that counts, and I am. I love pirate stuff, and I already see that we have a shark in here.
Yeah, if you don't find your astronaut, it's right here. So, good place for it, I know. I was like...
Well, astronauts and pirates don't really mix.
I couldn't...
He probably would have been booted. Yeah. He would have been made to walk the plank.
I'll get it to you. I was thinking today, like, did I send that out?
Oh my gosh. Is this the original Barracuda? What is this?
No, I don't know what set number it is or the
Because
set.
it has these blue capes
It has kind of a little bit of
or
everything.
flags, I should say.
Tell me this. The set number should be on the instructions.
Is the set number? It wasn't on the letter.
No, the instructions are like all the way at the bottom, so it should
Oh,
be.
okay.
I don't.
Well, this has one of those really cool base plates.
Yeah.
Let me get this out gently. And it's got a ton of minifigs with a female pirate. I know what this is. This is the set that came with the first original female pirate, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is hashtag Lady Pirate.
Like, oh, my camera keeps doing this.
Your camera is.
Is it
not being cool?
Gonna focus? All right, let's try one more time. Sometimes if I make it completely black, and then it will know what to do. Okay, it doesn't know what to do.
It's like soft focus, like a dream.
This is in great shape.
Yeah. I thought it was.
Oh my gosh!
Good. I was happy I found it.
Wow! Look at this. You found this at a yard sale?
Yeah, it fell off a truck or something.
Wow, I'm gonna
don't worry about it.
Full screen.
That's my point.
Forget about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Forget about it. Look at this. It's got the rocks and the waves. Oh, this is so sweet. Thank you. Wow. And it's got like a little ramp too. This little ramp coming up. And you can see there is, I guess, where the boat sits, maybe?
That was like
we'll find out.
Yeah, that's just how they designed those base plates back in the day.
Because we have some masts in here too. Yeah. And another blue 16.
Yeah, there's like a short section of water. And
base plate. And the instructions are at the bottom.
Yeah, what's the set number on that?
I think it's I want to say 4650 maybe. Trying to see if it 6273. So set number 6273.
Okay, Rock Island Refuge. That is the set.
Wow.
So there you go.
That.
Well, yeah, it comes with. I think it's a unique Lady Pirate too. I think that Lady Pirate is the only one with like that specific pants or something.
Well, I think this is the set where the first Lady Pirate came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know enough about Lego history to.
I remember this was, and there she is on the bridge here.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember this was a trivia question.
Oh, okay.
She came out, I want to say, in the 70s, maybe. Wow, this is so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy it. I'm glad you like it. And yeah.
Well, it was very generous and kind of you. And I have actually something for you too, but I have to go into storage to
Well, yeah, you get the bumper sticker, right?
Well, that's actually a decal.
It is a decal. All right.
Since we're talking about Lego Masters and stuff.
Yeah. But
a decal.
You missed all the fireworks, but nice that you're here.
Oh, look, Spot the Magic Ninja is here. And oh, look at that. A pirate and not a panda.
No. Believe it or not, Lego, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lego does not have any classic Lego panda sets. I believe that all the pandas are modern.
I believe you're right. I believe that is correct. Well, whatever I decide to do, because some of you know that I'm considering some potential changes in my life. I'm not going to say much more than that. If you come to the Pandy's Play Space on Friday, I will tell you more about it. That's the private channel. So I know that Spot the Magic Ninja, you know how to get there. GLS, I think I sent you the code, but I will send you the details. But yeah, I want to make sure I have all these pieces in here. But yeah, thank you again, Remy. This was very generous and very thoughtful because I'm big into pirates.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, like it's like getting gifts for people is like one of my useless superpowers. Like it doesn't matter what occasion, I can always find the perfect gift. So
Well, you also are the creator of the Super Pirate Baby um, mock that you made for me for a
yeah, that
Secret
was
Santa.
oh man, that was in the way before times.
That
That
was
was
the
that was a long time
2 years
ago.
ago.
Yeah,
It's got to be at least 2 years
at
ago
least. Yeah,
because that
yeah.
was when Tricky Lug was first doing, I think, their Secret Santa.
Mhm.
And I want to say it was actually 3 Secret Santas ago because the first one I got was Deneen. The
Mhm.
second one I got was Rob. And then the third one I got was Jen. Jen Smart. I had to
Oh,
build
cool.
for a Lego Master. That was stressful. So
Yeah, they're just people, you know.
good power to
They
have.
ain't
Yeah,
special.
it's true. Well, I mean, it was stressful because, you know, because they're on Lego Masters, they have a little bit more scrutiny over what you give them, right? So,
Well, yeah, because you would think that if you get them, terrible candy or something, like all their followers will know about it. Like that's the only drawback. But you know,
well, I'm very thankful. And like I
yeah.
said, I have your first, I'm pretty sure you were the first one to give me a Secret Santa gift from Tricky Lug because that was so three Christmases ago or
Yeah.
holidays ago.
Man, I gotta figure out now. I want to say I don't have it written down, but I have it written down elsewhere. So I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna figure out who my Secret Santa was. It was a little rover. That much I know. It was very
Oh,
cute. It just like a brick built rover.
mm-hmm.
Find it.
Yeah, I made for Deneen. I took the Duke Kaboom set and I took those trans orange click hinges and made
Hmm.
made an ornament shape from that and put Duke Kaboom on there and yeah, so I made an ornament for her. And then for Rob, I made one of those 3-in-1 builds where I took the book and I created a Santa and coming down the chimney and then Santa on the beach on the inside. That was a lot of fun to build. That one I built on stream too.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think I built the swan on stream too, now that I think about
Hmm.
it. But for Jen, I
Okay.
made a swan ornament with Santa writing on it.
Yeah.
Santa
Well,
riding a swan.
I found it. If you are curious,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me
Yeah, you
find it
can you
here.
have privileges to share.
Uh,
Yeah, and for those of you in the chat, I haven't posted the 2-minute tech tip yet. I should be posting it after the
yeah,
stream.
there we go.
Oh,
This
that's
was,
adorable.
I said classic space. I love it. I still have it over there in the cabinet. But yeah, that was from the Zaccardi family. So
Oh, that
again,
looks very
thank you,
Zaccardi-like.
Zaccardis.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
but yeah, it even has like the classic tires
Hmm.
and like the classic,
Actually, Rob Zaccardi
M-tron
was my
colors.
Secret Santa
Hmm.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, man, so much has happened since then.
I was gonna say it's goes by fast, doesn't it?
It's weird. It's like I don't know. It's almost like a different era
It's
of
definitely a different
being
era
in
because,
Lego.
I mean, if you think about it, that was when lockdown first happened because
Yeah.
that's when Tricky Bricks started streaming.
Hmm.
And, the first episode, since we're talking about Lego Masters, I mean, that one was all in person and we didn't have, any issues with regard to, worrying about infecting each other and people dying. And yeah, then all of a sudden things changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a interesting run, and I've met some amazing people. So I met you through Tricky Bricks, and also Spot the Magic Ninja. We haven't met in person yet, but Spot I know through them, and GLS. I think you and I met because how did we meet? Did you also come in through Tricky Lug too, GLS? I'm thinking that either that or I dropped in on a Brick Hive stream, but it's been a while. It's definitely been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just thank you again. That was a very, very sweet gift, and I have to now think about. I'm gonna have to build it on stream sometime. Might have to do some kind of stream thing.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
so let's talk about you, Remy. Since this is
all right.
this is an interview of Remy Baker, also known as Book Literacy.
Okay.
Because not everybody knows this, but you weren't always known as Brick Literacy as far as your handle.
No, I mean, when I first started on Instagram, like, I don't know, way back in the way before times.
Yeah.
I didn't really like use it. I just lurked on Instagram, and so I didn't really put much thought into the name. So that was
and
not
so
the
you
name.
were using your regular name. You were using Remy Baker, I think, as your handle.
Well, I still use that on YouTube.
Okay.
Because I don't understand how the internet works, but
I'm lucky because every platform that has come out, I've been able to get Brickanista without much problem.
Yeah, see, that's like a good name. You know, it's like a good Lego name. Like Aubrey has Moktura now, also an amazing Lego name.
But somebody else must have it because she has Moktura _.
Oh, well.
So somebody else must also have Moktura. But
not for long.
Somebody said Spot says GLS has his finger on the Lego pulse.
Yeah.
And Debo's here. Hey Debo. Oh, that's whose finger it is.
Yeah.
And then GLS said, I met you on your own channel and stream. Okay. Yes.
Sometimes we get walk-ins.
YouTube recommended me. Probably YouTube the last time that YouTube recommended me because the algorithm.
Sometimes you get walk-ins and they just stay. So
yeah, well, GLS and I have met in person too. That was still in the before times because that was when we met at a parking lot at a library because we were streaming from two separate cars because we were still, nervous about this pandemic. No more tricks. It's Debo bricks. That's great.
You want to talk about like lies inherent in name. There's at least one big one there if you're not expecting any tricks. But
Debo had a trick though. He was not always Debo bricks when he was on Tricky Lug. You remember this? You remember what his name was?
No,
he was Blackjack.
No, I definitely don't remember that.
Yes, he was Blackjack, and I remember this because Blackjack came before Brickanista. So when we did those mock reviews, I usually came right after Blackjack. And then he changed it to Debo Brick. So it was good because I didn't have like a really, really big shoes to fill afterwards during the Corona times.
Yeah.
Pass me some lime and salt. Yeah.
Well, maybe he saw the movie Friday and decided to change his name.
No, I think he's had Debo Bricks for a long time. Just I don't think he ever used it as a handle. So, and you found Debo because of Galactus.
Yeah, Galactus and all the
I guess Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, GLS, you mentioned that YouTube recommended me. That was 2.5 years ago. Is that I think the algorithm has changed so much because I'm now streaming on Rumble as well. And I was looking at the stats. I get way more views on Rumble than I do on YouTube because I think what's happened now is YouTube doesn't offer my channel as an option for people. And the way Rumble works is that they just do it in chronological order. So if you're happen to be streaming at that time, then people, will be presented with that. So it's just really interesting, the two different platforms.
You imagine that, seeing posts from your friends in chronological order. What a world,
I tell you, people are nervous.
Someone should do that, but like with pictures on perhaps a gram of instantness.
A gram of, Instagram's changed a lot though too. I'm seeing way more ads and way more reels from random people I don't know.
I wish Instagram would do that, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
know.
Well, and that's what's interesting is that I've only started streaming on Rumble,
Hmm.
and I really like the fact that I can talk freely on that platform about certain things.
Hmm.
And, we're not going to have a political discussion today, but,
Well, I thought that's why you had me on,
oh,
because
well,
I'm
I guess
not,
it is
I'm prepared to
it's
do
your
that.
interview, so I guess we could. Uh, oh,
You
okay.
not
So the
knock
name
everything over here.
Debo says was given to me thanks to being a bald man riding a squeaky bike.
Okay, so I was right. So somebody else saw Friday and was like, "Yeah,
Okay. I found GLS because he's awesome. Anyway, okay. Well, I guess I'll be honest with everybody in the chat that Remy has asked me if we could talk about politics on when we do our review shows, and I've said no. But today, because we're interviewing him, if that's what you want to talk about today,
oh,
we can.
okay."
And I will tell you though that if I get a strike,
Well,
I will let you know about it. But we won't get a strike on Rumble unless you start showing child porn or anything like that. So just don't do that, okay?
yikes! Yeah, no, no, no. But I don't. Well, okay. Since I guess we are going to talk about this, did you see
No,
Tips and
we don't
Bricks?
have to. I'm just saying
No.
that this is about you, and you do have a political um,
Well,
bent
okay.
when it
Let's
comes to your stream. So
like
yeah.
big picture thing. It's art is political. I like to make art. Art is something where you know, one of the definitions I've heard of art is if it makes you feel uncomfortable in your own home, i.e., where you are most comfortable, and
Hmm.
that's art.
Oh,
So I like to make
okay.
things that
That make
move
people
people in that
uncomfortable.
way. Well, that's part of it, but the other half, you need both barrels. You need the discomfort and then, what to do about it. So,
Call to action.
yeah,
Yeah, one thing that's really good about your posts is that you do have a call to action.
yeah.
You usually tell people go watch this video or send a
Mhm.
note to this person or donate to this place. So when you do your political posts, you do have that call to action piece.
Yeah, because there is a lot going on, but these
Hmm.
are solvable problems. I don't have despair for the
Some of them
future
are
of
solvable.
society and Earth. Yeah, um, but yeah, like this week. Let's just talk about Harry Potter news. Tips and
Just this
bricks.
week.
Tips and bricks. Specific. Let's just drill down on Lego specifics because this is the Lego community. This is something we can do as AFOLs.
Hmm.
Tips and Bricks is not going to review Harry Potter sets anymore,
Yeah, I
and that
saw that.
is pretty big. It's something that I've been like, hey, you should stop doing this. It's something that I've
No,
personally been asking them
it's
to do for
awesome
years.
that they took a stand like that.
Yeah,
Debo said he made a call to action once and the line was busy.
line is busy. The line is always busy, so
And
you gotta.
GLS says, hey, we can talk about politics as long as it's my
Yeah,
politics.
yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I've started streaming on Rumble is that Rumble is a new platform that
Mhm.
is created primarily to protect free speech and not to provide curated content to people. That's
Mhm.
why they do it in chronological order. And so far, I mean, and I could put tags on there on my Rumble stream, and then people can find me. And it's just been interesting just seeing the different. Because I will say, if you go onto Rumble, there are a lot more right wing people over there, and some things that you may or may
Yikes.
not agree with.
Mm.
But it's not. That's not always the intent. I mean, there's other streamers like me who are more middle of the road.
Mhm.
So,
No, I have not. I am not familiar with Rumble at
well,
all.
you're
So
on
I don't.
Rumble right now.
Yeah. Well, I guess we are. Um, yeah, I'll
Well,
have to look
so
into
so
that.
going back to Harry Potter, yeah, I have only spent money, I think, once
Hmm.
for one set, which was a $20 set for, I think, a review. And I think it was only because I wanted the little baby Voldemort. I think that was the only
Did not
reason
know
is
that
I
there
wanted
was
that minifig.
a baby
Yeah.
Voldemort.
Yeah, the baby, he's in swaddling and black swaddling. But anyway, yeah, I have not reviewed, I don't think, any Harry
Mhm.
Potter sets, and I even sent a note to Remy. I used to have a Harry Potter costume, which was the robe, the Gryffindor robe, and I actually donated it this last weekend to charity. I did keep the wand though, because the wand is expensive, so I may just sell that. Well, I
All
mean,
right,
it's
well,
like a 50 or $60 wand, so
I
I think I
I don't
could.
know anything about the licensed products. I'm sure
Yeah,
they're the varying
they're
quality.
expensive. Yeah.
I'm
But
sure
it's
there's a
made
whole
me
range of.
rethink everything that I have that's Harry Potter, and so that's been slowly moving over to charity or to people I know who enjoy Harry Potter.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't enjoy Harry Potter anymore. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's sad.
the
You heard about Dilbert too, since we're talking about
well,
politics. And
Dilbert, yeah, Dilbert, he doesn't matter. Scott Adams, like he's a moron, obviously. Like, and he doesn't. But the difference here, because people get into this. Well, she said this, but this guy also said that. They're the same. But no, it's not that Harry Potter is bad. It's not that she said a bad thing. It's not that she's spreading hate speech. It's that she's actively influencing hateful legislation.
hmm
That's what she uses her platform for.
yeah.
And especially in the United States, like over the past 3 years, like so many, like hundreds, literally hundreds of just anti-transgender bills. And now, we're seeing the drag ban on Tennessee, which
Well,
is,
there isn't there one state, is it Arkansas? One state is forcing trans youth to revert back to their, they have, I think, 30 or 60 days to revert back. They just,
there, yeah,
is it Oklahoma maybe?
there's a lot of, unfortunately, I don't know exactly because that's not a unique thing that's happening, you know, um, and people are like, well, what state can I flee to
Yeah.
in America and be safe? Like that's where we are right now. So, it's great that they're not reviewing Harry Potter sets anymore, but imagine what the message would be if Lego said tomorrow, we're not going to stand for this anymore. We're going to actually support the transgender community. Um,
hmm
because like I really thought, and I really thought when I got into Lego like 3 years ago that this was going to be like a 5-minute conversation. Like I was like, oh, did you guys know that this is happening? And people would be like, oh no, we had no idea. We'll stop doing that right away. And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. I
Um,
think I was looking, I was browsing, and I think it's might be South Dakota.
mhm.
As and in South Dakota, it has to do with not providing gender related care when it comes to gender affirming care is the phrase. So
Um,
yeah, that's really really bizarre. But hey, I live in Seattle.
mhm.
So I just went to Comic-Con. So I went to
Mhm.
Comic-Con here, and I was in the restroom, and there were several trans people who were in the restroom, and I didn't feel threatened at all. So, you
I mean,
know,
that's
they just
good.
wanted to, do their business and wash their hands too, just like anybody else.
Okay.
I never felt threatened, like, they're gonna wrestle me into a stall and attack me. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. And I agree, GLS, come to Washington.
Come to
Yeah,
Washington. Okay.
Washington, or just the whole West Coast, right? Washington,
Mhm.
Oregon, California. We're pretty laid back about that kind of thing. We are
Um,
cool up here.
cool up there.
That's
All right.
right.
Be cool. But yeah, if you go to the Human Rights Campaign website, they have a
hmm
legislation tracker. If you go to, um, I'll put it in the chat. I'll put her.
Yeah.
Twitter handle
Well,
in the chat.
this is I'm interviewing you, and this is a big part of who you are. And so, yeah, like I said, normally Remy has asked if we can have political discussions before, and I said no. So
Yeah.
I am
Yeah, if you go to Erin in the Morn on Twitter,
okay.
she has like it's because it's tough to keep up with all the bills that are like constantly in committee, out of committee, in
Right.
hearings, whatever. She has a map state by state of like where
Okay.
things are trending. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Spot,
Um,
I agree with you there. The imposition on other individuals is sad.
yeah.
And East Coast is okay too, I promise. Yeah, there are some really good East
Some
Coast states,
places.
but I will say I lived in North Carolina for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my clients was the Freedom Center for Social Justice.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that one of the trans people who was on their board actually lives in Tacoma now, right down the road. So we're going to be meeting for lunch sometime. But
Oh, that's cool. You get to
yeah,
reconnect.
it's
That's
just
nice.
and the thing is, in North Carolina, the politics, it depends on what part of the state you're in. So in Charlotte, it was very progressive. And then they had this legislation that passed that allowed trans people or people who identified as women to use the women's facilities. Well, guess what? Once that law passed within the city of Charlotte, the state legislators had an emergency meeting. Like, we
Mhm.
need to meet right now. And then
The
they overturned it essentially and
Mhm.
said this was not allowed throughout the state. And that ended up resulting in losing, I believe it was at the time, the NBA finals. It was
Mhm.
supposed to be done in Charlotte. That I think they moved it to Houston.
Mhm.
PayPal was going to relocate some of its offices to Charlotte, and they decided to move somewhere else. So it did have business ramifications too.
Yeah. The
Yep, scared ignorant people do ignorant things.
But yeah,
Agreed.
my friends live in Raleigh. I spend a lot of time there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're always talking about how terrible, like absolutely terrible, the state legislature is. Like
Yeah.
the only saving grace in that state is that their governor is not a clown. Um,
I actually liked living in North Carolina,
yeah,
but it
but
is
like
like
now it's
pockets of it's truly a swing state because if you go to the major cities, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Asheville, Charlotte, Greensboro, all of them are like islands within this. So islands of what blue within the red state. So it's just really interesting that they call North Carolina a battleground state for a reason, and it really is one of those that will tip
Mhm.
one way or the other depending on what's happening at the time.
Yeah. But this is as Lego people, I'm like, this is one of the things that we need to address in the Lego community. You know, uh, alongside like more representation of women in Lego
Well, they
and
are
more,
doing that. I
yeah,
mean,
and
your gift was perfect because that is a sign of female pirates being
Mhm.
represented in the pirate space. And I think that, when you were talking about representation, the Friends line has really gone full bore with this. And one of my favorite things is that chunky cat because it's in Leo's room and it's Leo and what's the other guy's name? Tyler, I think.
I don't know. I don't have that set.
Scared. Yep, I think. I'm sorry. So funny that big, strong men are scared of people going pee. Well, it's more than that, though. I mean, they've made it a
Well, yeah.
fear kind of
What's happened
issue.
is that Republicans have decided that they don't want to govern. They have no economic plan. They have no environmental plan. They have no, um, immigration plan. They're just desperate to hold on to power by any means necessary. And I don't know if you saw this thing about Rupert Murdoch having to admit under oath that Fox News, all their hosts, all their top executives, they don't actually believe the stuff that they are churning out. That it's just a market to them. It's just what
Hmm.
sells, and that's
Well,
unfortunately what
and
it is.
and we were
It's all
talking
these
about
made up
Rumble
issues.
as well, and Rumble is more, right leaning, but
Mhm.
it's also not, you can't imagine that everybody in power believes the same, things. It just, like you said, it's a market, it's growing. And,
Yeah.
Even me being on Rumble, I'm sure people are like going, what? The Brickanistas
Yeah, I
on
don't, I
Rumble?
don't know if I want to be on Rumble anymore. It doesn't
Well,
sound great.
it's not, see, the way I look at it, it's just
Mhm,
like I'm on YouTube and Instagram and all these other social media
mhm,
platforms, is that I feel that I provide another voice in the community
mhm.
that isn't always represented. So
Yeah,
Asian
see that.
females in social media in general are
Mhm,
usually objectified, as, oh, here, let me pose this way and take my photo. And I don't do
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
But I do think there is a case for having Lego streamers on Rumble. And I just kind of want to be there for
Mhm,
the wave before the wave happens. Because I tell you that Rumble has got a couple things going for it that YouTube doesn't. I already mentioned
mhm,
one, and that has to do with curating things by time rather than by what you watch. I mean, if you really want to curate yourself, you just follow people, right? The other
mhm,
thing that they do is they let you monetize from day one. You don't have to have 1,000 subscribers, and you
mhm.
don't have to have 4,000 hours of watch time. I mean, YouTube really sets the threshold really high. And so, in a way, it's kind of similar to Twitch, because Twitch lets you monetize after, I think, like 50 followers. But it's just definitely different. It's a different beast. And
Mhm.
I think it's going to go
Again, I
places.
haven't researched it at all, so have to
Michigan, we're so cool. We have
get on that,
billboards
I suppose.
advertising dispensaries. It's happening. Look, it's a happening locale.
It's ever since Twitter has been lit on fire, everyone's trying to find a different platform, and it's hard to keep up with all of them. So,
Well, Twitter is interesting because of what's happened, with the former executives coming forward with some of the documentation of what Twitter was filtering and what they would allow, what they wouldn't allow, and what they were promoting.
what weren't
That's
they
another
allowing?
whole thing to unpack.
Yeah, what
And
what what weren't they allowing? Like certain accounts.
yeah, let me read this comment and I'll get right to that. So they won't get rid of Santos because of the numbers. They need his votes. Uber liar or not. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no. So if you get a chance, watch the C-SPAN files about the Twitter testi- testifying to
Hmm.
I think, the oversight committee. And it was interesting watching it because four executives who were working for Twitter and were either fired or left had brought forward that there was several accounts that had been suppressed because, either um, they were instigating violence, which is
Hmm.
something that we were expecting, that they were doing. But another, it has to do with just filtering content with regard to health reasons. So,
Hmm.
and I've had this discussion before about the whole mRNA vaccines that, I have a science background. I went to Berkeley as a
Hmm.
genetics major. So I kept saying, look, you. Everybody who wants to get the mRNA vaccine, that's great. But for me, I'm
Hmm.
not going to put it in my body. I am going to wait for Novavax.
Hmm.
And I did. I waited for Novavax for a long time. So part of what came out of this is how certain recommendations were coming through Twitter. So you had it on both
Yeah, it
sides.
sounds like there were. Yeah, there's a lot of
Mhm.
misinformation out there,
Well, that's
and
why
it's
you
tough
have
to
to do your
separate
own research.
misinformation from like legitimate concerns.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But
But
I
yeah,
do I do
that's
think,
fine. Yeah. um,
yeah, and like I said, people are going to look at me like, what? She's streaming on Rumble? Is she some right wing fanatic, a gun toting,
mhm,
person with a pickup truck and a gun rack? And no, I'm not like that, and I don't even. And that's a stereotype. If anybody's watching this, I was just putting out a stereotype there, just like there's
mhm,
stereotypes of Asians, but I just think that any platform is worth exploring. Just like I was on Twitch for a long time, and I hung out on Twitch for about an hour and a half on Sunday, just to explain why I was leaving Twitch. I'll just drop in every now and then, but that whole platform is just definitely not for me.
Okay.
I
Well, yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen with that platform, honestly.
yeah, it depends on how welcoming that platform is to like just outright hate speech. Because if they are, then that's not a platform that I want to be a part of.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's kind of like if you don't provide a voice, then it's all going to skew that way. So that's kind of how I view it.
No,
Is
it's
that
yeah. Well, no, if that platform gives like safe harbor to like right wing extremists, I don't want to help grow that platform. That's my point.
right?
But
Well,
again, have
that's
not
a
looked
different.
into it
That's
at
a
all.
yeah, that's a different point of view. But
But
so for
I'll
me,
have to
it's
look
kind of
into
like
it.
if you don't provide the voice, then it's going to get even more extreme.
No, no, those people are just going to be as ignorant with or without you. you know, again, it's a market for them.
So
But
she lives in Western Washington, not Eastern, and
oh
she
boy,
drives a Subaru and wears Birkenstocks.
is it
That's pretty close description of me, but I don't wear Birkenstocks. So
okay?
yeah, but
But yeah, we'll have to look
thanks,
at it.
GLS. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, a lot of stuff going on in terms of Lego, the Harry Potter stuff,
Hmm.
the increasing women's visibility in Lego, and also increasing like doing away with the Lego minifig, the yellow minifigure, and increasing the variety of skin tones in Lego.
Have they
Um,
committed to that as far as getting rid of the
no,
yellow? I thought
no,
that
I
the
just
yellow will always
they
be
haven't
iconic.
done that, but I
Yeah.
think that's another important
Yeah,
thing
no,
that
I
they
think the
should be
yellow
moving
minifig
towards.
will always be there.
Hmm.
And I think that's just to, pay homage to its roots. But you're right, the skin tones have gotten
It's
really,
really
really
like.
good, actually.
Mhm.
Much
And well,
better.
it's just like jarring when you see it in something like the Jazz Club set. It's like really they couldn't have just gone with some flesh-colored minifigures for that set, you know. Um, but it's really also kind of like Lego chooses what to market,
Hmm.
and like we're gonna just gonna go off here a little bit, but like when the Rivendell set was announced, all I can think of was like comparing that to like the Black Panther bust set that we got, and wondering like why the Black Panther set was so expensive and the Rivendell set was like dirt cheap,
Rivendell was
basically.
expensive too. Rivendell was
Right,
$500.
right, but you get 6,000 pieces. You get over 20 minifigs, including all
Hmm.
the statues.
Yeah, the
Basically,
statues look awesome.
And like Rivendell is basically like a complete movie almost in one set. And I feel like with Black Panther, the bust and like the sets we got for Black Panther 2, we didn't get close to everything in that set. Like we didn't get
Hmm.
any Wakanda. We didn't get, the ancestral realm. We didn't get Queen Ramonda or a Midnight Angel minifigure or
Hmm.
Namorita or, like, and you contrast that with like all the Avatar sets that came out. We got
Yeah, I
the
didn't follow the
entire.
wave of all of the, Black Panther
Mhm.
sets or even the Avatar sets. I don't have any Avatar sets, so
Yeah,
I really have no comment on
but
that.
like you
But the
you
Black
have the.
Panther bust, I mean, all the busts in general are
Mhm.
just not that great of a value. And I
Well,
think that if you're a completionist, then yes,
mhm.
you would get the Black Panther bust. But if you're not, it isn't as appealing as, say, getting Thor's hammer, right? Just the hammer. That has nothing to do with race at all. That's just the hammer, right? You're talking about a tool.
I guess.
Um,
Well, no, but
yeah.
like, and it was also odd because like they didn't make it a $60 bust in line with the other ones. They put it kind of way out of reach, for the average person to buy. So you have to like really be a Lego
What was the
fan to
price
get it.
point on that?
$350,
350?
12 cents per piece,
Okay.
and Rivendell was 8 cents per piece.
Okay.
I
Well,
did the math.
And that also had a lot of curves too. So I don't know. I haven't looked at it too much, but GLS explains about the yellow minifigs. Licensed themes can have skin tones, but city must remain yellow. So that
where
must
is that
be
written?
modulars.
Where
You
is
heard
that
it
written?
from GLS.
Who cares? You know, somebody could have made a command decision on that. You know?
Well, I think it's just to keep consistent. Like the other day, I made the Aston Martin, right? And that one's a James Bond driver. The driver had a tuxedo. That was cool. But they put a freaking wrench in his hand. and
Well, the wrench.
I'm saying you don't see James Bond running around Paris with a wrench.
No, but the wrench. No, the wrench is cool. Actually, I didn't know this at first, but like they put the wrench in all the Speed Champion sets.
Well, that's what somebody mentioned.
Tool.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned that every Speed Champion set has a wrench, but do
also,
you
that's
have
not
to
really
put
the
it
same
into the
issue.
hand of James Bond, right?
Yeah, that's not. It's not really
Hey,
the same
Lena,
thing. But
how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah. So
I'm just saying, Lego, you could do better. You know.
Yeah, but I think
it's just obvious to me
credit.
that they. Yeah, it's just obvious to me that they want to appeal to a certain market and they don't want to appeal to other markets.
Well, I mean, that goes with anything, right? That they're going after a target, just like all the Lunar New Year sets, right? That at first they only marketed them to China. And I was lucky enough to get the New Year's dinner set from a friend of mine who was in China and was coming to Colorado. So we met in Colorado and I paid him and I said, thank you for getting that set for me. Yeah. But the wrenches so you can remove the rims. Yeah. Well, my point though is that I will never look at a James Bond movie the same way again. Because now I'll think he's carrying a wrench around somewhere in his tuxedo. It's like, excuse me, shaken, not stirred. Here's my wrench for you.
Yeah, that's
so ridiculous.
Very silly. But yeah, I guess my point is Lego do better, and AFOLs do better too.
More facts here. And if you remember the movie, James had the Aston Martin in a secret garage. So clearly he worked on the car. Needs a wrench. Well, I don't know. Not in a tuxedo. You would not have a wrench with a tuxedo. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a Q wrench.
It's a Q wrench. Q branch wrench. You know, it probably has a radio receiver and explodes.
And you know why they call it Q? Little fun fact.
It's like M and Q and the letters, and
I thought Q was short for quartermaster.
Oh.
You know what the quartermaster does? The quartermaster is the one who makes sure that the troops have all the equipment that they need. So that's why, you know, when you ever had a discussion with Q, the quartermaster, you got all those really cool devices. But anyway, sidebar there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your art.
Let's build some flowers.
Let's talk about your art.
We all know what you came here for. And it was just because you randomly wandered in.
M is for minister. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. See, thank you for verifying my my Q fun fact. Okay, so it looks like Remy has some flowers.
Yeah, this was just the first flower build I did. So yeah, if you want to use these, there's basically two styles of cape.
Here, let's give you full screen.
We can go big picture. If I can find the other style, I will show it to you. Here it is.
And I will be posting the 2-minute tech tip.
Yeah.
Soon.
So yeah, there's the friend style, which has the bar connector for the minifigure head, and then there's the minifigure style, which can basically go on studs.
Right. So this is not a botanical set. These are mocks that we're sharing with you.
Yeah. So I just I got a bunch of these at a parts. No, come on, don't do that.
Hey, Devo. Open your heart to the infinite possibility of yellow minifigs. They
Mhm.
can be anyone you want them to be.
Yeah, but the issue is, people don't feel represented by the yellow minifig.
I feel
And the,
represented
the
by the
issue is
yellow
not them
minifig.
not opening their hearts. That's not what the issue is. It's not on them to adapt to the yellow minifig. But yeah, so I got a bunch of these at a parts draft. Basically, these come in Emma's Fashion Shop, and I was at a parts draft at Brick Fair, Virginia, one year, and nobody wanted these, so I ended up with 22 sets,
Wow.
magenta and gold.
Nice.
Um,
Nobody
shine.
wanted them? Wow.
They came pretty late, but yeah,
Hmm.
this one is gold and black on one side, and they have a shiny
Gold
side.
and black. Wow.
So,
That's dope, yo.
I just put them together and figured they would be neat. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they are. So yeah,
You put them
but
in
these,
and put them into your mock, right?
yeah, when you use friends capes, and like
Hmm.
even if you don't have these specific ones, I'm sure they'll come out with more over the years. Like they put these in the carnival sets or the fun fair sets. These kind of iridescent capes,
Yeah, those are
iridescent on one
cool.
side, magenta on the other. But like obviously they don't connect with a stud, um,
Hmm.
and you don't want to like force a stud in there because you're really like
Yeah, you
stressing
don't
the
want to
elements.
ruin the
Um, yeah. So
yeah, but
basically, how you,
this does look like it could be a botanical. So when GLS
yeah,
mentioned that they thought it was from the
yeah,
botanical series, that is actually a mock.
yeah. This actually predated the orchid. This was
Hmm.
January 2022, I think.
Very pretty.
So, but what you can do with these, and yeah, can I have full screen again,
Yes,
please?
you may.
What you do is whoop, try to hold it this way. Um, you basically take two studs and use the tops together and just put a bar in between. And that's how you do it. And you can,
So
in this
GLS
way,
wants to know if the vase is also a mock.
yes, the vase took a long time. It is also a mock. Um, yeah. And,
It
that's basically how
flies.
we get, yeah, it flies, does it? Um,
Well, because it flew, out of your hands.
yeah. Oh, all right, right. He's talking about the thing that just happened and which I forgot already. All right. But yeah, so you can use these 1x2 pieces that have the holes through the center.
Hmm.
And now I think there's even like a 1x3 or 4, and you can, stack them up that way. Um,
I love that gold and
yeah,
the iridescent one too.
it's a good, yeah, the
Amazing.
golds, or you can make black orchids for your goth partners.
Make it for Wednesday Adams.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Golf
Um,
partners.
yeah, so you can do that, and then you can also make like let me find it. I'll find it real quick. Uh,
Very cool build, Remy. Yep, I agree.
thank you. You can.
Well, maybe while you're looking for that, should I show the 2-minute tech tip that I just finished editing?
Oh, where is it? And I'm
How
like
about
all
if I do
disorganized
that?
here. Sorry, it should be
I'm
like
gonna
right
I'm
here.
gonna put this in the background so you can keep searching.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna show the 2-minute tech tip so that people
Okay.
can see. You're getting a preview because I literally just edited this right before the show, so I still need to put some text on there, but this is the 2-minute tech tip from Remy. And this is going to be in my Adobe Premiere window, so it's going to be a little small. I don't think I can make this any bigger because it's in fit to window. Okay. And let me just go ahead and play this.
There we go.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brick and Easter Broadcast Network. For today's 2-minute tech tip, we're going to learn how to make flowers out of capes. Check this out from Brick Literacy.
Hi everyone, Brick Literacy here, and today, due to demand, we're going to talk about cape flowers. And we have all these lovely capes. Some of these are system capes because they'll fit a stud, basically. And these are Friends capes, which will fit a bar. So you just if you got a bunch of these and you want to make them into flowers, you basically pick one of these shapes. I like these snowflakes. The wheel is also useful, and then I also I like this because you're essentially when you make a flower, you're approximating a cylinder. So you do what you can. So we have these, which are interesting because you can, instead of putting the studs across this surface, you can put them across this surface, which is a little wider. So that gives you that nice overlap. And yeah, there you go. Yeah. So for these snowflakes, what you can do is you can arrange the petals this way, stick them onto the snowflake, and then uh, use a second layer of petals around a snowflake to kind of offset the gaps in the flowers. So you have a shape that looks like this at the end. So there's no real gaps. And finally, you have this, where you can, if you're using a Friends cape, basically have to use two studs um, on a bar, kind of with each other. You can either put that on, or you can use, this thing. And you can put that
Also
on
known
clips
as
all
an
around here,
inkwell
and you get
piece.
this nice sunflower. Whatever it's called. I don't know what pieces are called. Flower capes three ways. You get your pick. You do the thing with the other thing, and you put it between. And you're good to go. Yeah. Until next time, feel free to DM me with all your questions. And good night and good luck. Yeah.
Thank you, Brick Literacy, for that amazing tech tip on how to make flowers out of capes. You may have some capes at home, maybe with a fringy edge or a flat edge. Try this technique out and see if you can make some flowers of your own. To learn more about Brick Literacy, go to @BrickLiteracy on Instagram. And to learn more 2-minute tech tips, go to hashtag the number 2-minute tech tip on Instagram Reels from my profile. I'm the Brickanista, and may the clutch be with you.
All right, that was good editing. I got to tell you guys, like she edited that so well. That video was so much worse. It was like 10 minutes long. Great
well,
job.
I did have to cut some of that out. So yeah.
There was a whole thing about the IRA, and like I'm really glad you cut that. That was a good move.
Well, I still need to put the lower thirds and post it up to TikTok and to Instagram. So you will see that later. But I do think it's always fun when you see these new techniques that are done by different builders. And you have won an award. Didn't you win an award over at Brick Fair, Virginia for your flowers too?
I was nominated last year
okay.
for best sculpture, but I lost to some, I don't know, some nonsense. I'm not bitter about it at all.
Well,
yeah.
So what's your next set of mocks that you're working on now, and what convention will you be at next?
Brick Fair Fredericksburg, which is in approximately 15 days.
Wow.
This is what I'm working on next. This is going to be a floral sculpture.
Oh,
and,
okay.
I'm just waiting on a bunch of parts, but yeah, this is the vase, and this will be one section, and this will be another section. And it's laid out that way because I've been into floral arranging lately because the North Carolina Museum of Art has this thing called Art in Bloom, which takes place next week. And it's about like every floral artist is given a piece of artwork, and then they have to create an arrangement that, kind
of portrays that.
Yeah, that speaks to the artwork in some way or evokes it or whatever.
Right.
And so, yeah, I finally finished the jar, at least.
I really like it.
This is going to be based on the Great Wave of Hokusai set.
Oh, okay.
And it's laid out this way because, the Fibonacci sequence, the ratios. So this is 3, the vase is 3, and then this is 5, and then this is going to be 8. So 358.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was just that I had to get a sense of proportion. So I know it's very exciting now. It's gonna be incredible
Well,
when you see it.
15 days, that's not that long from now.
No, it's
And
not.
I think people are now thinking, gee, how many capes do I have to have? Because GLS says,
Well, yeah,
don't have
it,
that many capes.
it's fine. You
Yeah.
can go on.
What I usually do is when I do a
Mhm,
2-minute tech tip, I try to mimic what the
mhm.
builder has done. And I don't have that many capes either. So,
Yeah, this is definitely an issue, like people having access to capes, but they're going to keep making
mhm.
them. So just watch for them in future sets, and you can also go on Bricklink and buy them.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and
and
we had an interview with Aaron and Liz, and they took all the capes and used that as fringe for
mhm,
their Bronco
yeah,
build.
they have them on Lego Masters.
Yeah.
And like these were, I got a bunch of these for off Bricks and Pieces,
Hmm.
so you can order them directly um,
Yeah. I'm definitely going
if
to
you really
start
want.
thinking about that.
So yeah, they're out there. You can get them, but what's going to remain the same is that you're always going to have like bar capes and you're going to have system capes.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
um,
It was a great tip. And it was also good too, seeing the different cores that you use, whether it's the
mhm,
snowflake, the wheel, or the stacked snot bricks. I
yeah.
mean, that was really
Um,
eye opening
let's see if I
too.
have spicy. If you want to get spicy with it, you
Uh-oh.
also have this core, which is just stacks of
Mhm.
hinge plates.
Hinge plates.
Yeah, and what you can do with this, maybe what you can do. Look at that! I already broke one. All right, that's good.
So
All right, I got
Alina
the other half.
says, we know how much you like puns, Remy. So Remy could start selling capes, and the Bricklink store could be called Cape Canal because it's a steady flow of capes.
Canal. I don't know about that one, but what you can do with these hinge plates is that you can also vary the size. So you
Yeah.
can you can go 5 pedal, 7 pedal, whatever
Hmm.
you want. You can make it odd.
Yeah.
You just have to put some plates in between to get it there.
Right.
Um, so yeah,
No, that's
um,
awesome. What inspired you to start doing florals? Because it seems like several of your builds are floral builds. But when did you make that
I don't know.
cutover to
There's
do that?
something
Was it
about
when you
like
got the capes?
no, like I went to Art and Bloom like a couple of years ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the third time I'll be going to it, and I just really liked the interaction between the different artists and the different mediums.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so many other levels that you can take Lego to besides just like, oh, this is a building, this is a car. I recreated this thing from that movie. Like
Right. I
this
think
is
that's another reason why your florals
yeah.
stand out because you see so many buildings
Mhm.
that are at different cons. Like myself, I even brought
Mhm.
my little mini city and I brought my ramen shop and some other things. But to do something more organic like that is
Yeah.
it really a nice talent that you have.
Well, and like, it there's always like another layer of meaning to it
Mm-hmm.
too. Um, yeah. And I just like Lego in general as an art medium
Mm-hmm.
is good because it's a great metaphor for like collective action because you need all the pieces to make the set. No one piece is more important than any other.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
And they all kind of conform to the same standards so that they can fit together and create something new. And the whole thing of assembling and disassembling.
yeah.
Building bricks organically is quite the skill.
I really
Yes,
did break this. Okay, up.
absolutely.
There we go. All right, good as new.
Did you break something?
No, no, no. It's just anytime you like remove one of these with a brick separator, like there's always the danger of taking half of it.
Hmm.
But no, all good. Back together. Crisis averted.
So you're going to Fredericksburg. Is that what you
Yes.
said?
So
Brick Fair, Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg, I will have the flowers. I will have a new, I'll bring my butterfly, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying
You're
to finish
bringing
my
the
art.
owl, right? The trans
Yeah,
owl.
yeah. I always bring Hedwig.
Hedwig.
Bringing Hedwig is basically the reason that I go to conventions. Just to bring Hedwig and talk to people about all the stuff that's happening in the world. Um, and then I'm trying to finish the rest of my the armor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because for those of you who haven't seen it, Remy has a helmet that he's worn. I think he started it for May the 4th be with you when we had that episode,
That
right?
was yeah. I wore it. That
In
was
fact,
it
here,
doesn't tell
let's
me
give
when I made it.
you that.
36 weeks.
But didn't you
Last
have it,
June.
portion of it for May the 4th be with you?
Oh yeah, I just had I had the faceplate for May
Yeah.
the 4th.
I remember because I asked you if you would cosplay for May the 4th be with you. And
Yeah,
I think you wore that, and I wore, what was it? What are those little guys on the sand crawler?
the
Because I
Jawa.
kept saying Utani,
Yeah, the Jawa.
the Jawas. Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so hopefully, really hoping to finish the armor.
that would be
That
awesome.
would be
That would be
that's a really
so dope,
important
yo.
one. We'll talk more about that when it gets finished.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm building another massive mosaic. Not even a mosaic. I hate the word mosaic. It's a flat art piece. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a mosaic.
It's like advanced greebling.
It's not even that, man. Yeah. And then what else was I building? I was building a fourth thing. I don't know. I've got an Andor build that I want to do, but it may have to
Mm-hmm.
wait until Brick Rodeo. So we'll
You're going to be
see.
at Brick Rodeo, right?
Yeah. So Fredericksburg, Brick
Yes.
Rodeo,
Yes.
and then yeah, you're coming to that, right?
I have plans to. I have my room reservations.
And then
So I just have
Brick
to see if
Slopes.
how everything falls together. Yeah, I won't be able to make it to Brick Slopes, but I'm registered for Brick Can, which is only next month.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be my first con to go to. So it's 5 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I have a Mother Dimension at Bricks Cascade.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Mother's Day weekend in May. And then after that would be Brick Rodeo in July.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I haven't really been doing very many mocks though. I have to get back to that. I did a little bit of for mock makeover. I did some more work on the Panda Palace, but I need to get a consult from Alexander 23Z because he is a master sorter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I need to like organize my build space. It's just getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, I think he also wants to go to Brick Slopes this year, so I will probably also go to Brick Slopes.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
Oh, that'll be great.
I'm not going to go to Chicago. I'm not going to go to.
The
rest of the year, I don't know what's going to happen.
Chicago. I'm not big on large crowds, so that's why Bricks Cascade is really good. Brick Can is going to be like 250 builders. It's going to be nice and small, and it'll be more. I want to be able to hang out with and build fellowship with people that without having like this massive. I don't know. I just get claustrophobic. I think with too many people.
But yeah, so
that's awesome.
I'm at the point where I've got like 5 or 6 like solid pieces I can take around.
Yeah.
And just gonna add to it. Keep adding.
Yeah.
Keep adding until they give me my own wing.
Yeah. Have you ever done microscale as far as microscale building or?
A little bit, but not to a massive extent.
Yeah. The other thing I really like that you did was we were talking about sorting. It was knolling knolling. What was it? The
lion.
The lion set into almost like a mosaic, but it was like on a black piece of cloth, and you did like a top-down shot of it. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, this was actually the precursor. Oh, yeah, one thing I should get back together. Let me find it real quick. Yeah. So yeah, we've got the lion.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's the lion.
I love that piece, but the thing is, you can't bring it with you.
No, so that's why I did. Let me find it again.
They need to make black base plates. They
They
make them
do.
in white. They need to make them in black.
They
Well, they
have
have
this. There
black
you go.
16 by 16s, right?
Yeah, that's why I did this. I took the Majestic Tiger set and
Mm-hmm.
just used the pieces from that to build these four things,
Mm-hmm.
and actually stuck them on the plates
Oh,
so that they're
okay.
not just hanging out in midair.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, these are great.
that's the fish.
Little koi fish. But what's great, Remy, is you do a variety of things. You do wearables, with the
Mhm.
helmet. You do florals. You do these, I know you don't like the term mosaics, but
Mhm.
two-dimensional builds.
Yeah, these are. I mean, there's no other term for them. What I don't like is when people conflate like art with mosaics, because like mosaics to me, like the mosaic sets, like the
Hmm.
Batman, the Iron Man, like those are like paint by numbers. Like that's not art, you know. And that's
Well,
fine if you
it
like paint
depends
by
on the
numbers,
on the
but like,
artist, though, because when you take somebody like Brian Kilfoyle
mhm.
or Jessica Ragsey and Samuel Hatmaker, I mean, Samuel Hatmaker, I think, has a Beyonce portrait that he's
Well,
done.
if you're gonna cite my favorite Lego Masters team, that's not fair. Of course.
I'm just saying
But
that
like,
that's not paint by number when they're doing
no,
a
that's
mock
like
like
on another
that.
level,
But
definitely.
the artwork sets, the dot sets, let's
Yeah,
just call
the
them
dot sets.
advanced dot sets, right?
Yeah, that's. I'm just gonna specifically rag on those dot sets. Don't be
I
offended, everyone. I'm just
I don't
like,
know. I still have to
just
think
mosaics are
about
like not my thing. Like,
getting before they discontinue the dots line. Are they going to discontinue those mosaics too? Because
those are probably like a
the
separate thing.
Batman, the scene with Batman and Selena Kyle
Yeah,
or Catwoman, that takes two sets to make
yeah.
it, and that looks amazing.
Hmm. I mean, they probably sell. So I don't, I don't like, who knows what's going
You,
on in the back
well,
room.
Spot
If I
agrees with
knew,
you with regard
there's
to
a,
art,
yeah,
classification of art and mosaics and
yeah,
things.
there's like,
I
and
think
that's, fine.
Holly has the same attitude too, as
Yeah,
far as classifying mocks that are mosaics versus ones that are three-dimensional sculptures.
yeah. But, that's just me being snooty, you know. And again, not ragging on anyone specifically. I just, there's just things that I like, and not everything is for me. So, and that's fine.
Well, I just want to thank you again for
Yeah.
the really generous gift. Thank you so much for
Hmm.
thinking about me and for sending that over. And I think it's been great getting to know you too this last year
Yeah.
because I know that you went through a rough patch for season two. So
Yeah. Ever since, like, I just got to a point where, I would say, hey, this is racist or this is sexist. And like, people don't care. Like, people talk about how great the Lego community is, but I tend to disagree. I
well,
wish that, we would address some of the issues that we need to address and actually do some good things.
well, there's
But
nothing to stop you from doing that and
yeah,
starting a
yeah,
group to do that. I mean,
yeah,
take a look at what Lene is doing with the Dream Builders
mhm,
lug.
yeah,
You could
it's good.
create another lug that has to do with social issues. The social justice lug,
Yeah, maybe,
the
but that's
SJL.
yeah,
No?
mm, yeah. No,
I'm
that's
just
not
throwing
really.
out a name, you know.
Let's just cut the last 5 minutes. Let's just do the outro, and I'll just stop talking because I think that
Okay.
would be best.
Okay. Well, thank you, Remy, again for being on the show. And thank you again for the gift. And thank you, chat, for hanging out with us. So thank you,
Yeah,
Lena,
whoever
Spot,
wandered in here,
Evo. What's
thank
that?
you. Whoever wandered in here tonight, thank you.
Whoever wandered in, GLS. And I know that, we always joke about how we have this small community of people who we just like to hang out together. But it is true that you all are really a really cool family to hang out with, where we can talk about these issues and we don't have a lot of arguments happening. I mean, we have our discussions and we might have our disagreements, but we don't get, it isn't in fisticuffs, as they say, right? Or at least not on
I mean,
stream, maybe
we
later.
could do that, you know.
But I will say, so Thursday, I will be building, since we're talking about florals, I will be building the daffodil set for Thrifty Thursday. So if you want to build along, let me know. And then Friday, we're going to have another Pandy's Play Space hangout for members that are part of locals.com. So I will be posting on locals.com more of that information for Friday. And if you want to, I've been we can do like a movie night or something. But one of the things I recently watched, I don't know how you feel about this, Remy, but the South Park episode about the worldwide privacy tour, the
No,
one that was mocking Harry and
South Park
Meghan.
is like
It
it
is
was.
so freaking funny.
Yeah, it was like I watched it in college. I just don't care for it anymore. You know, it's just not my
Well,
thing anymore.
if you wanted to, I'm just putting it out there to the chat that if you're going to
Yeah.
hang out on Friday in our private room, we might be showing that.
And I'm trying to point to the chat. Sorry. There we go. These
So,
guys.
yeah, so the chat, if you're part of locals.com, I will post that information. And it's optional. We don't have to play it, but I found the site where I could watch it, and it's pretty much, I think, southpark.com. I think they opened it up because I think there were so many people trying to look for it. But it is freaking funny because if the characters, right, in South Park,
Yes.
and the Canadians always have that certain look with they're kind of like egghead looking with the flat mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the Prince and Princess of Canada. And like I said, it is just rip roaringly funny. And right before this stream too, one of the other things that I want to watch is the Chris Rock special that is also on Netflix. So he apparently is going to unpack a couple things that have happened with, the Will Smith slap. So he hasn't performed.
Why did he slap him back?
No.
That's the only update I care to hear about.
No, he essentially said he was raised properly, because people had asked, why didn't you hit him back? And he said, I was raised properly. You just don't fight, especially, on international television. You don't want to do that. Yeah. I saw one segment where he was talking about, here it is, Will Smith, who's quite a bit larger and heavier than.
Oh, come on, Chris Rock. No.
I'm just saying this is from his own stand-up.
All right.
That Chris Rock said, look, the dude actually auditioned and got the part of Muhammad Ali. That Chris Rock is not going to get that part.
Wait, well, maybe did Chris Rock apologize for that tasteless joke about his woman?
Well,
did he say, "Oh, I was wrong about this. You were wrong about that"?
I think he did apologize too.
Okay.
But anyway, it's like, what are you talking about, buddy? I'm not your buddy.
Yeah, I'm not your buddy, guy. Not your pal, fella.
But Spot really enjoyed having this discussion. It's the important part. So love this stream.
Great.
Yeah, we don't normally talk about politics on this channel, but I figured it's Remy. We're interviewing Remy. That's really important to him. So it is part of who he is.
Yeah,
I'm not your guy, fella.
I forget who it was that I saw this stand up the other day where the guy was like, "Oh, I don't talk about politics. I'm not gay or a woman or black or a young person or an old person or a union member or a teacher or just on and on down the list. Like, why would I talk about politics?" So Talk more about politics is my point.
Well, you got, a good hour and 20 minutes of that, or a portion of that.
Yeah.
Spot saw the Chris Rock thing. It was good, but shouldn't have filmed live.
Mhm.
Yeah, there were some parts, I think, like I said, I saw a portion of it. Then Will Smith could have hit better if he if he did
Well, it's
play the
that's why
boxer.
you need a good editor.
That's
Yeah.
why he slapped him. He did not box him because I think if he would have punched him, he would have knocked him off his feet easily. If he was really doing that, but he slapped him really hard though.
No, it's such like a non-moment. Like I don't even want to. I don't even have headspace to like have an opinion about it. Like I don't care. The earth is on fire, and
Well, but
the fascist descent of our government is in its terminal stages. Like that's what I care about.
on that note,
Yeah.
if you want to follow Brick Literacy while he
Oh man,
talks
why not?
about the demise of the government, you can follow him at Brick Literacy on Instagram because you're listening to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. Please like and subscribe to the stream or do a follow if you're on Rumble. Don't forget to do that, please. That really helps us out, especially on YouTube. And if you want to send any kind of fan mail, you can send it to the Brickanista Broadcast Network, P.O. Box 31956, Seattle, Washington, 98103.
Yeah,
Now,
sorry, Naomi. I know you're doing your outro, but Brick Jedi, it is the best time for you to join the stream. Welcome.
Oh, it's Brick
We're on our
Jedi's
way
here.
out. Great timing, dude.
It's a scary time.
Sorry.
Rewind the tape.
Yeah, just
Brick Jedi. Because we were just
Brick
when I
Jedi.
started the outro.
Yeah. Anyway, this is
Remy was talking about the demise of, society. So that's why I said, hey, if you want to learn more about the demise of society, you can
were
follow
just giving
Remy
your
at
address.
Brick Literacy.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, you know how to send me fan mail if you want to. But something new, follow me on rumble.com/user/Brickanista. Now, Remy and I have different points of view with regard to Rumble. I personally think that you need to provide yet another voice, even if it's not as common as the voices that may be on that platform.
I don't know anything about it yet. I'm going to do my research.
Yeah. I mean, some people think it's a little too, right leaning, but, other platforms are more left leaning. But I will say there's not a lot of Lego streamers over there.
Yeah, well, those two sides are not the same.
Well, and the Lego streamers I have seen are very similar to what you see on the other platforms. They talk about builds. They talk about, what's happening in the Lego world. So that's why I'm over there. This, I think, is my 9th stream over there. And I will say the engagement is better because YouTube doesn't present people like me that are smaller YouTubers. They keep promoting the larger YouTubers, and unfortunately, we get kind of lost in the shuffle. So I am still keeping my YouTube presence, though, and I think I'm up to, 358 or so followers.
That's good.
I have the watch hours. I have over 4,000 watch hours. I just don't have the people. I need the people. Where are you, people? Or I'm just self-delusional and nobody wants to watch what I have to say.
The problem is nobody's working from home anymore. So, everyone should be able to work.
I don't think that's the problem. Honestly, I think I need to take a serious look and try to be more objective about, what I'm presenting, and maybe it's too long, or maybe I need to change things up a little bit. But I still think, and I've said this in interviews, that if I stop, then that's a voice that's gone in the community. And I think that this perspective is something that still needs to be out there. And that's why we have people in the chat, because they believe that too. So thank you again, everybody. And Brick Jedi, since you're here, I need to send you an email because I want to chat with you about Pandy's Play Spaces this Friday. So if you want to drop in, it'd be great to have you along. And if you're having problems, I'll work with you to fix it. I might have to send you a sub like I did for Spot the Magic Ninja. A Jedi is never late. Oh, nice. Yes. Jedis, that's a good metaphor, because Jedis don't really care about what's happening in the world as far as, the distractions. They have a very clear focus path. So thank you for that quote.
Well,
and Lena wants to just mention your cute cat shirt.
Just go to Cat Magic Punks. You can get one too. This shirt is called Cat Samar, like Samar, but with a cat. So
that cat has been on this stream before, building too.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you again, Remy, for hanging out with me and being on the show. Thank you, everybody, for just being a part of this. And as they say on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, thank you, and may the clutch be with you. Take care. See ya. Bye.